Glad you're with us here, folks. We have trouble in bear country. Nearly 3 dozen bears have been put down in East Tennessee already this year. When they're a danger to people, the bears are killed. Why are they a danger? The people who are trying to save the bears say it's our fault.
Hey, bears,
Bears are as big a part of Gatlinburg's identity as mountains and pancakes. People spend a lot of money to vacation here to get close to a bear.
Well, they want to come to Gatlinburg. They want to see a bear. Typically, right now, you're going to see a bear at some point during your visit to our wonderful city. The bear population has increased.
The problems come when bears get too close to people. Even a biker's backpack in Cades Cove. It's just a loud paintball gun to make Mama Bear and the cubs scared of people. When bears learn people mean food, they become dangerous.
A bear that gets put down around this type of trash is usually a bear that'll sit there and look at you like a dog sometimes, right? But it'll paw at you, right? It might chase after you because it's waiting for you to feed it. And that's a huge threat to people's safety, because if you run away from a bear, it might hurt you, right? Or it might climb in your truck. It might break your window out of your car. And so those bears get put down.
Greg Greco's a former National Park Ranger, now with the Appalachian Bear Rescue. He says he's had to kill more dangerous bears than most people. The city of Gatlinburg has had to kill twice as many this year as last, just under 20 bears put down. Rico says bears aren't the problem, it's people. And here it's wide open.
And it's wide open.
Here's lunch.
And this hotel here, they don't throw their trash in it. They've got their own dumpsters. Up this road here, there's a bunch of rental cabins.
The city of Gatlinburg has spent $3 million on bear-proof trash cans, even solar-powered bins that send a message when they're full. The problem, he says, are these construction dumpsters left open, spread around the mountains. There's just supposed to be building materials in these. Instead, they're a bear buffet.
If I can go to this dumpster and find, gummy bears and fruit snacks and all the other stuff we found in there, soda and candy corn, so you can come here and you can get a whole day's worth of food with no effort.
This is the city's actual convenience center, the trash dump where food is supposed to go. It's open 7 days a week, but it closes at 4 in the afternoon. So Greco says cabin renters and cabin cleaners often take a shortcut and illegally toss their trash in these open dumpsters. Not all the bear rental places that we talked to wanted to talk about bears and safety. The bears bring in a lot of tourists, but one of them, Brian Rainwater, did. The man from Atlanta rents out a cabin right here on this mountain, and his message about bears is pretty clear.
I have 3 decks on the back. Each deck has a sign that says, please don't feed the bears. If they get used to humans, they get too comfortable, then the human interaction will end up being euthanized.
This is video of his cabin just a couple of days ago.
I've seen other cabins that try to bait them in using bird seed, etc., other food.
People actually caught in the act, tossing trash in the wrong bin or baiting bears, get a warning. The second time police or TWRA officers show up, then a fine.
Any violation of city ordinances is punishable by a $50 fine plus court costs, which brings the total citation up to about $180.
Gatlinburg has fined 51 people so far this year connected to bear safety. The $50 fine is set by the state. We are making it hard on the bears. We're moving into their neighborhoods and getting upset with them when they act like bears.
Right, yeah, exactly. Bears are treating us just like they treat any other animal in the wild, right? Bears fight each other for food all the time.
Another problem is outside the Gatlinburg city limits, there are a lot of communities, in fact, most have no rules about bear-proof trash being necessary. So it's up to people. And it's up to the state to make tougher rules when it comes to this. Lexi Lepoff has been working on that. What lawmakers can and maybe will do about it. What'd you find, Lexi?
Yeah, exactly, Ted. State Representative Jeremy Faison tells me something needs to change before someone gets killed. Right now, local governments do not have the authority to set a fine for people feeding wildlife, like our bears. Faison tells me he wants to change that. He plans to pen legislation that would make it legal for local governments within a 10-mile radius of Great Smoky Mountains National Park to establish a fine for feeding wildlife. Right now, a Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency TWRA proclamation is the only penalty people can face in the state for feeding bears. Like Ted said, that's a fine of $50 and court fees of about $180. With Faison's proposed plan, towns like Gatlinburg could establish a stiff penalty, hopefully making people think twice.
A civil penalty on someone, a tourist, that when they post that, you're going to get a $100 fine, $500 fine, whatever that Gatlinburg feels is the best, that people are going to be like, wait a minute, maybe my social media is not quite worth it. Maybe my life isn't worth this.
Groups like Appalachian Bear Rescue, like Greg Greco we heard from there, have made pushes for statewide legislation to crack down on the intentional and unintentional feeding of bears. Faison told me he thinks that wouldn't work well with other communities in the state, but he does see the legislature going for the idea of granting the authority to a local government. He tells me he plans to file the bill in the new year.
Lexi, thank you very much. We appreciate it. You'll find all this WVLT News app, folks.